Hey guys, Adam from Equipped to Endure. Well, we haven't done a bag video in a while, so today I thought we'd do an overview of the 511 24-hour rush bag. And I got that right here. Very interesting bag, pretty tough, inexpensive. You can pick one up anywhere from about $118 to about $140. This will be the first part. We'll give you an overview here before we go and do a test and final review of the bag. Alright guys, since I'm not in a position to test this bag out, and that is throw it on my back right now, I did want to go over the features and some of the makeup of it to give you guys a little bit more information. Alright, first off, let's give you guys the dimensions. 23 inches high, 15 inches wide, and 8 inches deep. And that's without it being all packed out. It's made of water-resistant 1050 denier nylon. It's got some pretty flexible main storage devices. Now, one issue I have with this bag from the get-go is it kind of straddles a couple different things. It's not really a, it's more of a military bag, EDC bag. I wouldn't say it was really just a normal backpack or a hiking bag. It has features to fit all of those spots. But one thing I think from the get-go, it is very, very heavy bag for a 24-hour bag. Let me flip this over. Alright, now I got this thing packed out pretty well right now. In regards to some different item types, this isn't necessarily packed for a 24-hour kit, but something somebody might use for backpacking or having their vehicle for a go bag. I haven't had a chance to really do a good field testing with this. Like I said before, this is going to be an overview video. We'll do a field test view of this later. Let's go ahead and pop this out and show you one interesting piece of the bag. We really had this protruding pocket on the inside for your hydration pack. Right now, I actually threw a tube tin in there, one of the space blankets to kind of give you guys a point of reference in size. But you're able to throw your hydration bladder down there. You can tuck the hose through here, and then it'll come up out to this area here. Now the other thing this has is a piece of plastic that gives a shape to it, and it's funny. I wonder, that shape looks familiar. I wonder what else you could put there. One of the cool kind of feature I did like though is if you're wearing this kind of quick pocket right here, it's actually got felt on the inside, so you can probably throw your glasses in there so they don't get all scratched up. Threw a little Equipped to Endure beanie in there, and of course you always gotta have your chapstick. But if you guys can see that felt material, so you can throw sunglasses or whatever else in there. But it's kind of just a quick pocket, just to give you guys a size. Throw little pieces of gear or whatever equipment that you need in there that you can quickly access. You don't have to take the bag off, you don't have to stop, just reach up behind your neck, unzip it, and then you're good to go. Now these are self-healing YKK zippers, so it's kind of almost a gimme nowadays when you're dealing with zippers. The grab handle seems pretty strong. Like I said before, you have two different ports you can bring your hydration hose through, or if you have something like a radio or something in there as well, if you want to stick the antenna out of the bag, you can. Now one thing I always kind of caution people when we get to any of the MOLLE bags and all this POW webbing is, people tend to throw a lot of extra gear on here, and it can really make the bag pretty heavy. You're not really getting your volume to weight ratio when you start adding anything with the POW systems. The reason being is there's a lot of extra bulk and weight that goes into attaching any other kind of POW's pouch. Not to say that it's not a great idea to organize your kit, but I tend to tell people who are in specialized things, we need to get specialized pieces of equipment pretty quickly. That's made for them. Some of us are just going out there doing some bushcrafting or some wilderness type survival stuff. We can have just a large bag that doesn't have all this extra organization. A side pouch in here that you can fit different things. You can throw your knives in there or something like that. There is a small little pouch right here. This goes in kind of deep. There's not much volume in it. And we have the same thing on the other side. Now one other issue I kind of was disappointed with this bag is there's only one compression strap. So if I wanted to use the compression strap to hold something else, let's say like my Wetterling's large hunter axe, it's not necessarily going to work. I'm going to have to figure out some other way to tie this down using the MOLLE straps. If you have a couple suppression straps, that's pretty cool. I might be able to do something along the lines of this. But, that's riding kind of high. So, wish we had a couple compression straps. I know compression straps can get kind of in the way, especially with bags that have like about 15 of them. But in general, I like to see a few more. Let's start off with this main pouch here, because this one is the one that I kind of think you're going to be using the majority of the time. So, comes down about 3/4 of the way. And the first thing you guys are going to see is I threw two M16 magazines in here, not because this is a shooting bag or anything like that, but I kind of want to give you guys a point of reference to the size. And those two pockets right there fit that perfectly. Let's go ahead and take those bad boys out. Also got in here just some of the stuff I stuffed in here, some cloth, emergency poncho, organic energy chews. And this is planned for a 24-hour bag. The next thing you have is these two pockets right here with these Velcro straps that are kind of funky. At first look I was like, oh, these must be other M16 pockets, but these straps aren't long enough to go around the M16 mags, and these pockets aren't deep enough for the magazines to ride down. Right here we just have a little portable radio, very old school. Now here's one other design flaw that kind of irritates me. It's these pin reservoirs. They are so shallow you can't get the writing utensil down there very far, so they're really sticking out. If I'm going to have a slot for my pins, I want it to go all the way down, so I'm not going to snag something on that. So that was kind of disappointing. I thought that was kind of just poor design. They should have tried to make this pouch a little bit deeper. Over here, just have this other pouch, just one open pouch. We threw the multi-tool in there to give you guys a little size reference. There's one other large slot right here. We threw some gloves in and a hat to give you size. Now these things are pretty cool. These are actually the only time I see key rings kind of done right. They sit kind of high up there, very short. You don't have this 12-inch long strap. The plastic here doesn't look that sturdy, but you know, I can see snagging and ripping that out or breaking that pretty easily, but they look okay for right now. We'll find that out in the test a little bit later. And then we go to the final pocket. This pocket isn't that deep either. Goes only down about that far. Just have a large cotton cloth. Use it for a head wrap. Do whatever you want to do with it. So just threw a little Phoenix on there for a point of reference on the Molly. So we do have some Velcro here if you want to throw a patch on there. These ones still have the Molly strapping. We threw a little equipped to endure name tag there. Now these pouches are pretty cool. These can designate for certain things. This is kind of my light pouch and emergency medical thing. I just threw the little CPR mask in here. Flashlight, maybe put batteries in here. You also do have this felt area down here. I threw in a headlamp. So that's a pretty interesting design. And you have the same thing on the opposite side. Now I threw an emergency candle in here. This is, of course, this is a 24-hour bag. Pick gear that runs the 24-hour theme. In here I threw a strike force, and in this little mesh area I threw a lighter. Now I've had several bags where this mesh kind of wears out. I have seen that 511 and Maxpedition do mesh pretty well, but I always watch out with that. Now that's it for the outer pockets, and then we have one large pocket in the center. And we'll go ahead and open that up for you guys. Now again, we were packing this as a 24-hour bag, so just enough equipment. Maybe we could push this out to a 48 if we need to. Through in here, just a fleece. You know, that going inside your jacket you already have. This is another 511. This is a TDU shirt, old and quick to endure on it. An extra waterproof jacket that we can press. You guys have seen that before. Now one thing I didn't see in here that I wish I had is some kind of outer Nalgene holder, but you could easily find something to Molly on there. We got our canteen cup and our clean canteen. We were able to fit something small like our wildlife axe from Waterlings. Now I was pretty happy with these compartments inside here. Right here I actually have two pairs of pants rolled up in this section right here to kind of get them out of the way, because I probably need those last. Just a pair of 511 tack lights. And then some multi-cam BDUs. And here we just threw some extra rigger's belt, some pair of wool socks. 2 pairs will do for that one. Over here we got our polypropylene undergarments and an extra t-shirt. And of course, we got a broken down MRE for space. This actually probably has about 2 entrees. And last but not least, we got some 550 cord, and we got our little Aquamera water filter if we need to. So all in all, pretty cool bag. There's a couple design features that I would tweak if I had the power to do so. We're going to give this a more thorough run through here in a test series, take this out in the field and see how we like it for deployment of our gear and setting up everything. I wish we did have a couple extra straps, especially along the bottom, so we could throw additional gear like a tarp or a wool blanket shelter system. So something like this I'd have to supplement with some other shelter system, but we had the tube tent and the heat sheet, so we could, you know, pretty much cover some shelter with that, and then of course do some primitive debris shelters. All in all, pretty neat pack. Well, hey guys, I hope you liked that overview. Give you guys a little bit more details on the specs of the bag and give you some point of reference to the type of equipment that you can hold in it. This bag's going to be about 25% bigger than my Falcon 2 bag that I really enjoyed. So we're going to give this one a try. I'm pretty sure even though it's only a 24-hour bag, I can probably squeeze at least 48 hours worth of gear inside of it. As you saw before, we're focused mostly on taking up the volume with clothing. But this bag is still pretty heavy even when it's unpacked. The weight problem might be a concern. I might want to go with a lighter bag for that length of period of time. But we're going to give this one a try out here in the near future, so stay tuned for part 2. But I hope you enjoyed this one. Well, hey guys, Adam from Equipped Indoor. If you guys have any questions or comments, please email me at adam@equippedindoor.com. You guys make sure you check out our Facebook page at facebook.com/equippedindoor. We've got a great contest going on right now. If you want to be ahead of the game and make sure you're covered for future contests, you guys can go to equippedindoor.com and register. Registering is free. Just put in your email address and your name and you're good to go. You know, we give away tons of gear here. I think this last year we've probably given several $1,000s worth of gear here. Of course, any piece of equipment sent to us by companies for review, we always do giveaways or send it back to the company, and that's our policy. You guys have a great holiday. Be safe. Remember, if you're not always prepared, you're never prepared. Thanks.